The TCU Horned Frogs are the athletic teams that represent Texas Christian University, consisting of 18 varsity teams. The Horned Frog nickname and mascot refer to the Texas horned lizard, also known as the Horned Frog. The teams participate in the NCAA Division I and in the Football Bowl Subdivision for football, competing in the Big 12 Conference. On October 10, 2011, TCU announced that it had accepted an invitation to join the Big 12 Conference. History: Texas Christian University began its athletic life as an independent program with a 6-year stint in the Texas Intercollegiate Athletic Association before eventually joining its longtime home, the Southwest Conference. In 1923, TCU remained a member of the SWC until it disbanded after the 1995-96 academic year, when the University of Texas, Texas A&M University, Texas Tech University and Baylor University defected from the conference to form the Big 12 Conference together with the members of the Big 8 Conference. The University of Arkansas had previously left for the Southeastern Conference in 1990, in the aftermath of the Southern Methodist University football scandal, leaving the SWC with no presence outside of the state of Texas. The Horned Frogs, without a conference to call home after 72 years, joined the Western Athletic Conference, along with SMU and Rice. TCU called the WAC home from 1996 through 2000. In 2001, TCU joined Conference USA and remained there through 2004. TCU joined the Mountain West Conference in 2005. In 2010, TCU accepted an invitation to join the Big East Conference in all sports starting in 2012. However, on October 10, 2011, TCU announced that it had reversed its decision and would be joining the Big 12 in 2012 instead, a move that went into effect July 1. Teams: Texas Christian University sponsors teams in 9 men's and 12 women's NCAA sanctioned sports. Rifle is technically a men's sport, but men's, women's, and co-ed teams all compete against each other. TCU has a women's team. Beach volleyball is a fully sanctioned NCAA sport which will have its first national championship in the spring of 2016. TCU is currently an independent. Football: the return of national prominence of TCU football began under the watch of Dennis Franchione when TCU defeated the Trojans of USC in the 1998 Sunday Bowl. From 1939, the year after TCU's last national championship, to 1997, TCU's record was 3-1-4, 3-8-3-2-4. In those 67 years, TCU won 6 Southwest Conference titles and attended 11 bowl games, winning only one of those games. Since the 1998 season, TCU has won 6 conference titles, 2 in the Western Athletic Conference, 1 in Conference USA, and 3 in the Mountain West Conference. Since 1998, TCU has amassed a record of 79-30. In 4 of the last 5 years, the Horned Frogs have won at least 10 games in a season, and won 11 games in 3 of the last 4. During this period, TCU has won games against Louisville, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Utah, and BYU. From 1998 to 2006, TCU has attended 8 bowl games, winning 5 of them. The record of TCU in bowl games as of 2006 is 9-1-3-1. TCU also claims 2 national championships from 1935 and 1938. TCU has 41 first-team All-Americans listed at TCU Horned Frogs football. The school's most famous past players include Rags Matthews, Sammy Barr, Davey O'Brien, Johnny Vaught, Key Aldrich, Darrell Lester, Jim Swing, Sonny Gibbs, Norm Bula, Bob Lilly, Kenneth Davis, 2006-07 NFL MVP LaDainian Tomlinson, and 2-time consensus All-American Jerry Gaither. TCU have achieved success under numerous coaches including Matty Bell, L.D. Dutch Meyer, Abe Martin, Dennis Franchione, and current coach Gary Patterson. Gary Patterson received 9 National Coach of the Year honors in 2009. Coaches Matthews, Barr, O'Brien, Aldrich, Lester, Swing, Lilly, and Dutch Meyer are all members of the College Football Hall of Fame. Barr and Lilly are also members of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The TCU football team plays its games in Amon G. Carter Stadium. The stadium opened in 1930 and has a capacity of 44,008. On December 5, 2010, the west wing of the Amon G. Carter Stadium was imploded in order to accommodate 24 suites, including 6 Founders Suites on the lower level, and 2,300 club seats on the west side. Total cost of the renovation of Amon G. Carter Stadium is $105 million. Baseball. TCU has fielded a baseball team since 1896, before the school found its home in Fort Worth, Texas. The Horned Frog baseball team began playing baseball in the Southwest Conference when it became a member of the conference in 1923. That year they finished the year with a 13-11 overall record and a 2-10 conference record. In 1933, Dutch Meyer, also the coach of the football team, led TCU to its first SWC title with a 9-1 record. During the rest of the time in the SWC, the Frogs would win 6 more regular season SWC baseball titles. The next conference championship would come while members of Conference USA in 2004 and 2005. 2006 saw the Horned Frogs in a new conference, the Mountain West Conference. The Frogs went 17-5 in their first year in the MWC and never left first place. They also only had to play 3 games in the conference tournament to win the MWC tournament title to complement the regular season title. TCU has made 11 appearances in the NCAA baseball tournament: 1956, 1994, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2014, and 2015. TCU has 23 All-Americans, 6 Freshman All-Americans, 3 Players of the Year awards, 2 Pitchers of the Year, and numerous All-Conference selections. The TCU baseball team makes its home in Lupton Stadium, with a capacity of 3,500. Men's basketball. TCU has played since the 1908-1909 season. That first year they entered the Waco City League and left with a record of 2-3, losing to the Baylor teams and defeating the Waco High teams. The Horned Frogs played basketball in the Southwest Conference from the 1923-24 seasons until the breakup of the conference after the 1995-96 season. During the time in the SWC they won 10 conference titles. Buster Brannan owns the most wins as a coach in TCU men's basketball history with a career that spanned 20 years. He earned a record of 205 to 259, a 104 to 144 record in SWC play, won 4 conference titles and earned 3 trips to the NCAA basketball tournament in 1952, 1953 and 1959. The TCU men's basketball team would only win one more conference championship after the breakup of the Southwest Conference. During the 1997-98 season under coach Billy Tubbs, the team went 27-6 and 14-0 in WAC play. The team earned a trip to the Midwest Regional, played in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. They would lose in the first round to Florida State. TCU never won a title during the time in Conference USA, the Mountain West Conference. How they will fare in the Big 12 remains to be seen. TCU's other NCAA tournament appearances occurred in 1968, 1971 and 1987. Along with NCAA tournament appearances, TCU appeared in the National Invitational Tournament 6 times: 1983, 1986, 1992, 1997, 1999 and 2005. They advanced to the quarterfinal round 3 times: 1983, 1999 and 2005, but have never earned a berth to play in the semi-final round in Madison Square Garden. The TCU men's basketball team was coached from 2002 to 2007 by Neil Doherty. He was fired in March 2008 after TCU limped through yet another season with a losing record. Jim Christian, previously with Kent State University, was hired shortly after Doherty was fired. Christian resigned on April 2, 2012, to accept the head coaching position at University of Ohio. On April 6, 2012, it was reported that Louisiana State University head coach Trent Johnson would be announced as TCU's new men's basketball head coach at a press conference on Monday, April 9, 2012. Johnson previously served as head coach at LSU, Stanford, and Nevada, Reno. In his 4 years at LSU, Johnson led the Tigers to 1 NCAA tournament, 1 SEC championship, and 1 IT berth. He also earned 1 SEC Coach of the Year honor. During his 4 years at Stanford, Johnson led the Cardinal to 3 NCAA tournaments, including 1 Sweet 16 appearance, and 1 IT berth. He earned 1 Pac-10 Coach of the Year honor. Finally, during his stint at Nevada, Reno, Johnson led the Wolfpack to 1 NCAA tournament appearance. Johnson will lead the TCU Horned Frogs into the first season in the Big 12 Conference. The TCU men's basketball team plays the home games in Scholl Mayer Arena, formerly known as the Daniel Mayer Coliseum, on the campus of TCU. Kurt Thomas, considered by some as the best athlete to attend TCU, played for the basketball team from 1990 to 1995. He was a 3-time All-American and averaged 29 points and 15 rebounds his senior year. Women's basketball: the Horned Frogs fielded the first women's basketball team in the 1977-78 season and recorded a 5-18 record. They improved significantly the following year, going 19-8. Current coach Regan Pebley has been the coach of the team since the 2014-15 season. During the 2001 season, the Horned Frogs won the first regular season and conference championship at the WAC tournament. The program matched that accomplishment the next season, the first season in Conference USA during the 2001-2002 season. They then proceeded to win the CUSA tournament in 2002-03 and 2004-05. Of the 4 years the Horned Frogs were in CUSA, they won the conference title 4 out of 5 years. TCU has also reached the women's NCAA tournament for 6 consecutive years, stretching back to the 2001 season. Each year, they have won the first game of the tournament and lost the second game, except for first-round losses to Oregon in 2005 and to South Dakota State in 2009. TCU women's basketball has reached the postseason 11 out of 12 years that Coach Jeff Mittie has been head of the program. The Horned Frogs share Scholmau Arena with the men's team, playing under the roof there for the entire history of the program. As of the 2010-11 athletics season, women's sports at TCU will no longer use the term Lady Frogs. Women's volleyball. The TCU women's volleyball team is coached by Prentice Lewis with the help of associate head coach Jason Tanaka, who both joined the team in February 2002. Since Lewis's arrival, the volleyball team has had the third best record to date at 12-18. The next year, 2003, the Horned Frogs recorded the best record to date at 20-11 and made it to the second round of the CUSA tournament, a first for a TCU volleyball team. 2005 The Horned Frog volleyball team saw the first year in the Mountain West Conference. The team finished the season 16-18 and were seeded 8th in the conference tournament. They defeated the number 9 seed Air Force in the play-in match 3-1. The Frogs then fell to the top-seeded BYU 3-0 in the quarterfinals round. 2006 The Frogs recorded a 17-15 record and were the 6th seed in the MWC tournament. They eventually lost to Colorado State University 3-1. The 2006 season marked the Horned Frogs' third winning season in 4 years. The women's volleyball team plays the home games in the Student Recreation Center on the TCU campus. Men's and women's cross-country. The men's and women's TCU Harriers cross-country teams compete in the Big 12 Conference. For purposes of qualifying for the NCAA men's and women's cross-country championships, the TCU Harriers compete in the South Central Regional while the rest of the conference competes in the Rocky Mountain Regional. From 2003 to 2005, the TCU Harriers sent a runner to the NCAA men's or women's cross-country championships. The TCU Harriers cross-country team is coached by Eric Hines. Women's equestrian. In December 2005 it was announced that starting in the 2006-2007 academic year, women's equestrian would become a varsity sport sponsored by TCU. The NCAA designated equestrian as an emerging sport in 1998, and in 2013 there were 37 intercollegiate programs recognized for NCAA competition. Programs in the region include Baylor, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, SMU, Stephen F. Austin, Texas A&M, and West Texas A&M. Intercollegiate equestrian programs support an average of 70 student athletes. Golf. Men's golf. The TCU men's golf team is led by 20-year head coach Bill Monteigel. During his tenure, Coach Monteigel has guided the men's golf team to 5 5 consecutive conference titles from 2001 to 2005 between the Horned Frogs' time in the WAC and MWC. Since 1990, the Horned Frogs have qualified as a team to the NCAA South Central Regional every year. In 10 of those years, the team moved on to the NCAA Championships. Among the most notable TCU men's golf alumni is J. Henry, who was a member of the United States team during the 2006 Ryder Cup. The TCU golf team practices at the Colonial Golf and Amp Country Club. They have won 9 conference titles: SWC, WACC USA, and MWC. Women's golf. In 1983, the TCU women's golf team accounted for the school's lone national championship outside of football. Currently, the women's golf team is led by head coach Angie Ravioli-Larkin. The Horned Frogs have at least 4 former players now playing professionally. The most notable is multiple LPGA Tour winner Angela Stanford. TCU practices at the Colonial Country Club. Women's rifle. The women's rifle team has had a number of firsts in the history of TCU athletics. In 1972, Sue Ann Sandusky was recorded as Texas Christian University's first All-American. Also, in 2010, the team became the first all-female squad to win a national championship. The TCU women's rifle team is currently led by head coach Karen Moniz, who has been a part of the program since 2003. In June 2013, the Horned Frogs became a charter member of the Patriot Rifle Conference. All-Americans Women's Soccer. In 1986, the TCU women's soccer team played its first season in Fort Worth, Texas. Since their emergence in 1986, the women's soccer team has achieved an all-time record of 194-233-29. As yet, they have no NCAA appearances and no conference championships. They are a part of the Mountain West Conference. Being only the second head coach of the Horned Frogs since its start is Dan Abdullah, who has now coached the team for 6 seasons. His record at TCU was 4-3-4-4-6. He led the TCU soccer women's program to the Mountain West Conference tournament in 2007 for the first time in the program's history. Prior to coaching the Horned Frogs, Dan Abdullah was the head coach at UNLV for 5 seasons. Before taking over the head coach position at UNLV, Abdullah was the assistant coach at the university for 1 season. UNLV was also his alma mater from 1994 to 1997. The assistant coach is Kerry Hanks, who started coaching at TCU in 2010. She graduated from Notre Dame, where she received the Herman Trophy Award 2 times, awarded to the top female college soccer player of the year. She helped the Fighting Irish advance to the NCAA National Championship match during the 2006 and 2008 seasons. In 2007, the TCU women's soccer team received an award for being one of the best academic sports teams in the nation. For the second consecutive year, the women's soccer program was recognized by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America with the NCAA Team Academic Award. The Horned Frogs also placed 14 individuals on the full academic All-Mountain West Conference team. The women's soccer team plays the home matches at Garvey Rosenthal Stadium, which seats 1,500. The Horned Frogs reached a season high of 2,300 attendees at the game against the University of Southern California in the 2010 fall season. In August 2010, the Jane Justin Fieldhouse was added to the complex. The Jane Justin Fieldhouse contains a locker room for the TCU women's soccer team, its visitors, and officials. There are also coaches' meeting rooms and an athletic training room. The field house was named honoring Jane C. Justine, who graduated from TCU in 1943. The facility's field house was a $1.5 million gift from the John and Jane Justine Foundation. This is the largest gift solely provided for women's athletics at Texas Christian University to date. All conference players, men's and AMP, women's swimming and AMP diving. The Texas Christian University Swimming and Diving Program officially formed in 1979 by a man named Richard Cy Besma. Cy Besma has been the head coach for TCU Swimming and Diving for 31 years, since its inception in 1979. Although there was an actual swim team before 1979, but the team did not keep records. Therefore we know little about the team. Cy Besma has had a very successful career while at TCU. He has been named Conference Coach of the Year on 5 occasions and was selected as the Nicaraguan Olympic swim team coach in 1996. The TCU Swimming and Diving program has won over 400 dual meets including championship meets. The TCU Swimming and Diving team has been in 3 different conferences since its beginning. First was the Southwest Conference from 1979 to 1993, then moved to the Western Atlantic Conference in 1994 to 2000. In 2001 they proceeded to Conference USA, and finally from 2005 present the TCU swim team has been in the Mountain West Conference. While in the Conference USA Conference, the men's swimming and diving team dominated the pools across the country. They were the Conference USA champions in 2002, 2003, 2004, and 2005. The women's team also had much success in the Conference USA. In 2002 and 2004, TCU Swimming and Diving swept Conference USA by winning both on the men and women's side. The TCU Swimming and Diving team had yet to achieve such awards until 2010 when the men's team won the Mountain West Conference Dual Meet Championship. The Texas Christian University Swimming and Diving program are not only an athletic team, but they also have a great record for academics. The College Coaches Association has honored SIBSMA's women's program as an academic All-American swim team for 35 consecutive semesters, while the men's program has been honored on 13 occasions. This program, along with all the athletic programs at Texas Christian University, have been in many different conferences including the Western Atlantic Conference, Conference USA, Mountain West Conference, and starting in 2012 the Horned Frogs will be joining the Big 12 Conference. All home meets are located in the Student Recreation Center on the campus of TCU. Men and women swimming All-Americans. The TCU Horned Frog Swimming and Diving have produced 14 All-Americans within the AIAW and NCAA. Between these swimmers are 12 women and 2 men. Source: Men's and AMP, Women's Track and AMP Field, Indoor Track, Individual Championships, Outdoor Championships, Individual Champions, ***, Collegiate Record, NCAA Meet Record. Tennis. The TCU tennis teams play the home matches at the Bayard H. Friedman Tennis Center, rated the #1 facility in the nation by Tennis Magazine. Men's tennis. The TCU men's tennis team was coached by Dave Borelli. Before he became coach of the men's team, Borelli coached the TCU women's tennis team 4 years before. They are the 2005-2006 Mountain West Conference Tournament champions. Currently, the Horned Frogs are coached by David Roddy T. TCU men's tennis is currently ranked #3 in the country. Women's tennis. The TCU women's tennis team was coached by Jefferson Hammond. They are the 2005-2006 Mountain West Conference regular season and tournament champions. Lee Walker is the current head coach of TCU women's tennis, who are ranked number 22 for this upcoming season. Notable non-varsity sports. Rugby. The Texas Christian University Rugby Football Club plays in Division I of college rugby in the Southwest Conference against other in-state rivals. TCU Rugby plays its home games at the TCU Rugby pitch, located at 3400 W. Berry Street. TCU Rugby has been led since 2008 by head coach Ben Cole, a USA Rugby certified coach. Traditions. Horned Frog mascot. The Horned Frog first appeared in 1897 on the cover of the first Adron yearbook. By 1915, the mascot made its way onto the first TCU seal. During the post-World War II years, the Horned Frog mascot was embraced in costume, on stationery, class rings and a band's bass drum. In 1979, the mascot was renamed from Addy the All-American Frog to Super Frog. TCU has capitalized on its mascot by marketing a bumper sticker stating, "My princess turned into a frog." Music. Fight song. The TCU fight song, TCU March, was written for the marching band by Claude Sammies in 1928. Cheers. On notable cheer at TCU was the Hey Song. Championships. National Team Championships. As of July 2, 2014, TCU has 3 NCAA Team National Championships. Women's Golf 1983. Co-ed Rifle 2010, 2012. See also Big 12 Conference National Team Championships. List of NCAA schools with the most NCAA Division I championships. List of NCAA schools with the most Division I national championships. Below are 3 national team titles that were not bestowed by the NCAA. Men's Football 1935-1938. Women's Equestrian 2008. Championships. Coaches. 1 named co-national champion by the Williamson system along with LSU. SMU was named national champion by the Dickinson system, which was favored at the time. Princeton and Minnesota also claim a national championship from this season by other poll systems active at the time. 2. Although the NCAA rifle sport is co-ed, the TCU Rifle National Championship team was made up of only females, marking the first time an all-women team has won the national title.